Hello, this is Overflight by Historic Games at Thomas Van Hare Design. I'm going to do a playthrough of a mission. I've already rolled some things to start up to get us going. This is the basic setup of the map and the combat map. So I am on mission number 8. So at the start of the spring of 1957, I've had 7 pretty successful missions. I haven't lost any U-2s or pilots at this point. So I've already rolled some things, as I mentioned, so we can get this going. So it's mission number 8. It's 1957-13. Johnson Wax is my pilot. He's a 668, meaning he has 6 pilotage, 6 moxie, and 8 sixth sense. So he's pretty decent. He's flying Article 358 U2. He's taking off from first time we're using Geiselstadt, which I guess is in the same location as Wiesbaden, but anyways, in West Germany. So he's taking off from over here, going, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this well, but going Denmark, Norway, Bodo over Norway. Then he's going to West Barents, East Barents, Novaya Zemlya. It's going to be a high threat area. Back to West Barents, and then back to Bodo, which is going to be the where we're going to land. The alternate is up here at Thule, or Thule, however you pronounce that. So as far as fuel goes, it's not a high threat. There's only one high threat zone and 2 low threats, so that's not too bad. It's the range is pretty good though. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I computed that. I'm going to give him just a little extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's going to start at 68,500. And let's get going. Anything else to start? I'm using, kind of to keep me honest, a sequence of play help sheet I came up with just to keep things organized and moving along. So we did all this stuff, mission assignments, starting weather. At the alternate is clear. So we have the weather at the primary is always clear. The weather at the alternate was clear for now. I'm gonna go keep the mission. I'm gonna keep the pilot. So let's see what we got. So we're gonna come to takeoff, and that is chart B7. And I'm going to use 1 pilotage, since we have, so I'm going to use a pilotage to add 1 so I don't have any catastrophic crash. So we want a D6. I'll be rolling off screen. 2D6 plus 1. Oh, we ended up with a 10. So we have a successful takeoff. So we took off from Geiselstadt, and let's get this mission going here. So every turn, every round, we're going to adjust our fuel. We're up to 69,000, and I move this just so I can see it. We're up to 69,000, and we move. We're over Denmark, and we roll for our events. A 1 to 3 means we have to roll on a chart, and I rolled a 4, so we're good there, and there is no threat here. So next we're up to 69.5. And we're over Norway, and we roll for our event. Okay, I rolled a 3, so we have to roll on the table. And I am going to throw I have a lot of sixth sense, so I'm going to throw 1 of these to increase the 10's number. And when I roll, I'm going to use the gray for the 10 and the white. So it is a D66. And I rolled a 64. Okay, so we got thunderstorms. Thunderstorms, we roll a D6. If it's 1 to 3, the primary is thunderstorms. I roll a 1, so the primary is now thunderstorms. Not great when we come back, but don't forget, we do have an alternate. And if I end up with a lot, I can still possibly get in with the thunderstorm, so that's fine. And then again, there's no threats here, so we're going to go. Next round is we're at 70,000 feet. We're getting up there into safe zone. I like that. We're over Bodo, where we're going to be coming in at the end, we hope. And let's roll for an event. And I rolled a 3, so we do have an event. And again, I'm going to throw a 6 cents at this just to add 1 to the... Add 1 to the 10s die, I'm sorry. And again, I rolled a... we got a 66. So milder weather. Move both weather at primary and weather at alternate markers 2 spaces left. And it doesn't say you can't. Yeah, milder. That means that you can move them back. So the weather to primary goes to clouds. The thunderstorms move through and out of the way pretty quick. And our alternate is just clouds now. Yeah. And again, we're still not under threat zone. So now the next zone we move, we're at 70,500. And we are over the West Barents. Let's roll for an event. And I rolled a 5. There's no events. However, we're in a threat zone, so we got to roll for a possible threat. It's 1957, a low threat. A 6 to 12 means we're okay with 2d6. So we want a 6 to a 12. I rolled a 10. So yeah, we're good to go. We were off the Soviet radar. And so we're going to move the next round. We're at 71,000. And we are over the East Barents. And let's roll for an event possible. Yes, we have to roll. I'm gonna Yeah, I'm gonna use another 6 cents to increase the 10s die. And I rolled a 35. So a 35 off Soviet radar. Your U2 is not tracked by Soviet radar over current waypoint. And we add plus 25 VPs. So that's a real good one. That's a great one for us. So we get a plus 25. So let's start tracking our mission here. I'm just going to put plus 25. So that was actually a great event there, and we're still in a low threat area. So we want, for a low threat, we want to roll a 6 to 12. And I rolled a 9. Good. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're off the radar. We just stupid. Okay, so we're good there. So the next one we go to, the next zone is 71,500. And we're over our main target area. Let's roll for an event, possible event. I rolled a 2, yes. I'm getting down, but I'm going to use 1 more 6 cents to increase the 10s. I rolled a 46. Unexpected fuel efficiency. In the next round, do not move fuel level marker on the track. Very good. So we got fuel efficiency. That's good. Right. And so now we are in a high threat area. In a high threat area, a 7 to 12 we want to roll. And I rolled a 6. So a 6 in 1957, and I'm rolling on this table here, 1957, high threat, I rolled a 6. We got 2 MiG-19s and 4 17s. So 2 MiG-19s, 2 MiG-19s, and 4 17s. I'm not even sure they can get up that high, but so let's set that up. Let's see what happens there. And we roll the 19s first, and there you roll 2d6, and then the 1 for the altitude you add plus 3. So the gray will be along the bottom, and then the white I will add plus 3 for them. And was I accurate here? 71.5, and we are at 71.5. So let's roll those guys. So it's a 6-4. Yeah, he's way down there. So we detected them, but so far they're not even close. And the next MiG-19 is a 4-9. That would be the highest I could get. He's still way below us. And these 17s, you just roll for a 17, just a D6. So the highest they could ever get is 6,000. So the most they could ever be is somewhere here. So way below us. So that was great. We are good to go. So we're ready for the next zone. Clean this up. And my 19. So we had some activity, but they were not really a threat. So we're at 72,000. And we are back over West Barents. Let's roll for a possible event. Yes, we got an event. And I want to save, I think, for this landing. Oh, I don't need 6 cents for landing. Pilotage could help us. So I'll use another 6 cents just to add to the tens die. And I rolled a 64. And a 64, and by the way, I've been rolling on this chart for events, a 64 thunderstorms. So the weather goes back to thunderstorms. Oh, if I roll a 1 to 3, hold on. 1 to 3 would be primary. I rolled a 1, dang it. So we had cleared, they moved out. Now we're back into thunderstorms again. So the weather's been kind of crazy back home. And there is no, we're on West Barents, so it's a low threat area. And again, I think we wanted, in 6 to 12, we want to roll. And I rolled an 8, so we had no encounter there. And then we're getting low on fuel, but we're at 72,500, and I think you can glide pretty far at that altitude. So we're going to be over Bodo. Hope I pronounced that right. Of Norway anyways, which is our base. And we do have thunderstorms, but we've got some pilotage we can use. I'm not too worried about it. Let's check for an event. No, I rolled a 6. There's no event. So, and there's obviously no threat, so we get to land. And on the landing table, we're going to expend some pilotage here, because thunderstorms are -5. We have no damage, no hits, anything like that. We're at an Allied air base, so it's a -5, but it's +1 for pilotage. So 1, 2, 2, 3. I have 5 pilotage, so I can use all of these to offset that. So we can just roll a landing 2d6. Oh, I rolled a 4. Okay, that's interesting. I've not had that happen before. On the landing chart, a botched landing is, we had a botched landing and came to a stop off the runway. The U-2 is damaged. Roll a d6. 1 equals 2d hits. 2 to 6 is no hits. Wow. Okay. First time that's happened to me. So let's roll a d6. Roll high, please. I rolled a 2. Okay. That's not good. Oh, yeah. 2 to 6. No hits. Okay. So we made it back to our base. We're good to go there. So we landed. We're moving on to debriefing, awards, and skills. And we got to check our reconnaissance value for our targets. So let's. And we really only had West Barents, East Barents, our primary at Novaya Zemlya, and back to West Barents. So I will check those. See what our recon value was. I do it like this. I'll say, so West Barents, East Barents, Nova Zem, and then back over West Barents. And this is something I need to ask Thomas. Do I get a second time on West Barents because I went back over it? I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a question mark and I'm not sure. Yeah, because sometimes you go on missions and you go back the same way. And I don't know. I'm not positive. So let's check these out. So for West Barents, we're going to roll on a chart, a recon value. I rolled a 3, so that's good. You deduct 5 from it, and West, and I don't think they're very high, but West Barents was a total of 30, so we get actually 25 for that. And then East Barents, I rolled a 6, so we get all of it. East Barents is 50, so that's good. And then Nova Zem, it would be worth 60, but I rolled a 4, which I think is all of it. Come on, bro. Yeah, 4 to 6 is excellent, so we get all of that. So note we get 60. And then this is a question mark. We went back over it, but well, let's see what it would have been. Maybe I'll hold off on adding those. I rolled a 2, so we don't get all of it. Yeah, fair. Deduct 10 from it. So it would be worth 20, maybe. So I'll just do this until I find out. I don't know why I can't figure that out. So our total was 135 out of a possible 170. Is that right? 5, 6, 11, 12, 13. 135 we got on that. Okay. And out of a possible 170 for intelligence gathering. Okay. So that was that for mission 8 success. And this pilot will get a skill chit. This pilot will get a skill chit for, and I'm not sure, I'm not sure what he's gonna, I may bring the 6th sense up, but I'll think about that. So we're back here. Let's see if we have any accidents or incidents. That's this chart here, D3. It's 2D6. I rolled a 4. So that is a pilot injury based on other causes. A pilot injured and reassigned to other duties, so we lost a pilot. That's a bummer. Apply to a random pilot, cancel reassignment by expending 1 influence chit. You know what? I haven't been using those too much. I'm going to use my influence and cancel that reassignment because my pilots are getting up there. Let me see where we're at. My pilots, I mean, there's a couple I'm not too crazy about, like this guy, Thomas Mumford, has a 4 6 sense, but they're getting there. So I am gonna use my 1 influence to get rid of that and cancel that. And I'll get another command chit in 2 more missions anyways. So yeah. So that was accidents and incidents. And then we have to go through our diplomacy and politics. We flew over Soviet-controlled areas. We didn't fly over Japan, Iraq, Italy, Scandinavia, Sweden, or Finland. Did we? Nope. We were over Norway. At the North Barents. No, we missed the North Barents. We would have hit that if we went to our alternate. We didn't have to. So I'm just rolling once for a diplomatic protest. We want to roll a 6. Would be nice. And I roll a 4. So we have a dip note, diplomatic protest, a note. And let's see what happens with it. Diplomatic note, we roll a 2d6. And I rolled a 6, which is good. It was fully addressed or ignored. There was no protest or nothing came about this. We calmed them down. They weren't happy that we overflew them, but it got resolved. Okay, so that's that. And every 5 missions. Okay, yeah, so we are on mission 8, so we got to get to 10. However, the pilot does get, and this was Johnson Wax, 6, 6, 8. I'll probably give him an extra pilotage, so he's going to go up to 7 now. Johnson Wax will go up to 7. 7 pilot. So he's getting good too. And that is basically a game of Overflight, or at least a mission, successful. We encountered a couple of things that were that were way too low. They didn't affect us, and we made it back safely. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to drive on with my campaign.